$13 a developer, a day, and 6 documented ways it bills you while you're doing absolutely nothing. Here's something almost nobody who uses an AI coding tool realizes, and it's written down in the vendor's own documentation. Your session costs money while you are doing nothing. Not while you're typing, not while it's working, while you sit there with the terminal open, reading something else. And it isn't one bug or one edge case. Anthropic documents 6 separate mechanisms by which an idle Claude Code session keeps drawing on your limits, all on a single page. They also publish the number most people want and almost nobody has seen, around $13 per developer per active day, and a warning that the dollar figure Claude Code shows you is not your bill. So let's go through it properly. What the real numbers are, where the money actually goes, and which levers genuinely move it. All from one page, read today, and I'll tell you exactly what I could not verify. 4 parts. 1. The anchor, the real published cost figures, and the sentence that tells you who they actually apply to, which is not you if you're on a personal plan. 2. Why the number on your screen isn't your bill, and the attribution bug that was quietly overstating one thing for months. 3. And this is the part worth the whole video. The 6 ways an idle session spends money, each with the specific setting that turns it off. And 4. The levers that actually reduce it, plus the limits question that trips everyone. Why switching models does not get you unstuck. What you will not get from me, any per token price, any plan cost, or any comparison to Cursor or Copilot. None of that is on the page I read, so none of it is in this video. Start with the number, because it's the one people search for. Quote, the average cost is around $13 per developer per active day and $150 to $250 per developer per month, with costs remaining below $30 per active day for 90% of users. 3 figures there, and the third is the useful one. 13 is an average. Averages hide their tails. 90% of users stay under $30 a day. That's a ceiling, and ceilings are what you budget against. Now the qualifier, and please don't skip it, because this is where people misread the whole thing. That sentence begins, across enterprise deployments. These are not personal plan numbers. This is API build usage inside companies, where people run multiple instances and automation. If you're on Pro or Max, your usage is included in your subscription, and these dollar figures are simply not about you. The docs also say plainly what moves the number. Costs vary widely based on model selection, code base size, and usage patterns such as running multiple instances or automation. Model choice comes first in their list. Remember that. It comes back. Now the part I'd call genuinely surprising, because most people read that total as gospel. Run /usage and you get a session block, total cost, duration, tokens by model. It looks authoritative. Here's the docs on what it actually is. Claude Code computes the dollar figure locally from token counts priced at standard list rates, so it doesn't reflect promotional pricing or contracted discounts and may differ from your actual bill. Read that again. It's computed locally, at list rates. So if your company negotiated a discount or you're on any promotional pricing, that number is wrong, and it's wrong in the direction of looking more expensive than you are. The docs point you at the real one. For authoritative billing, see the usage page in the Claude console. And if you're a Max or Pro subscriber, it's even less relevant. Quote, usage is included in their subscription, so the session cost figure isn't relevant for billing purposes. So that figure is a telemetry estimate, not an invoice. It's genuinely useful for comparing one session against another. It is not useful for predicting a bill. One more detail people trip on. Those totals reset when /clear starts a new session. Before version 2.1.211, they accumulated for the whole lifetime of the process. So if you remember a shockingly large number once, that may be why. On a paid plan, /usage also breaks down what is spending your limits, attributing recent usage to skills, subagents, plugins, and individual MCP servers, each as a percentage. That's a genuinely good feature. It answers, which of my tools is eating my week? But here's a line I want to highlight because it's an unusually honest thing for a vendor to print. Before version 2.1.222, after one call to an MCP server, Claude Code attributed every subsequent request to that server, overstating its share. Think about what that means in practice. You call one MCP server once. From then on, everything gets blamed on it. So if you looked at this breakdown before that version and concluded some MCP server was your problem, that conclusion was probably wrong. And if you disabled it on that basis, it's worth rechecking on a current version. Two more things about this screen. It flags a behavior when it accounts for 10% or more of recent usage, things like long context or cache misses. That threshold is why small stuff doesn't show up. And the figures are computed from local session history on this machine. Other devices and Claude.ai aren't included. So on two laptops, neither screen shows your real total. Right. The core of this. The docs have a section titled Why Usage Climbs in a Long Session, and it lists 6 mechanisms. I'll take them in 2 groups of 3, because the first 3 are about what gets resent, and the second 3 are about what starts a turn you didn't ask for. 1. Long context. Claude Code sends your full conversation with every request. And each time it uses a tool, that's another request carrying the tool results. So, their words, a one-line question in a session that has been open all day still draws usage for the whole conversation. Your 2-word follow-up is not a 2-word request. It is the entire day again. 2. Cache misses. Prompt caching makes that rereading much cheaper, but the cache expires. The lifetime is an hour on a subscription and drops to 5 minutes once you're drawing on usage credits. On an API key or cloud provider, it's 5 minutes by default. So the hour is not universal. It's the subscription case. On an API key, you get 5 minutes. Take a coffee break, come back, and your first message reprocesses everything at full price. You can keep the 1-hour lifetime while on usage credits by setting Enable Prompt Caching 1 hour to 1. 3. Scheduled tasks. A scheduled task fires on its interval even while the session is idle, sending your full context each time. That one is worth sitting with. A task on a 5-minute timer in a session with a large context is a full context request every 5 minutes, forever, whether or not you're at the keyboard. Second group. The ones that start a turn you never typed. 4. Cross-session messages. If another of your sessions messages this one, Claude Code delivers it as a new turn when this session sits idle, sending your full context each time. You didn't type anything, another session did, and your context went out the door. The fix is documented. Set cross-session inbound to hold, and inbound messages are held instead of delivered. 5. Goal check-ins. While background work keeps a goal waiting, Claude Code asks Claude to check on that work even when the session sits idle, starting a new turn that sends your full context. A polling loop built at the size of your conversation. Turn it off with Claude_code goal_change in minutes set to 0. And note, idle check-ins need version 2.1.236 or later, so if you're older, this one isn't happening to you at all. 6. Teammates. Each active teammate keeps consuming tokens until it exits. Not until it finishes its task, until it exits. An idle teammate you forgot about is still a running Claude instance. And that's the shape of all 6. Not one of them requires you to do anything. 4 of them are features you deliberately turned on. Schedules, cross-session messaging, goals, agent teams, each of which quietly converts sitting still into spending. One more, and it's the one that surprised me most, because the advice everyone gives is just compact it. From the docs. /compact reads the conversation it summarizes, so compacting a large context is itself a large request. Compaction is not free housekeeping. To summarize a huge conversation, something has to read the huge conversation. Which is why the very next sentence is the practical one. When you want a fresh start instead of continuity, /clear costs nothing. So there's a real decision here that most people make by reflex. If you need the thread, the decisions, the context, what you already ruled out, compact, and accept it costs a large request. If you're just moving to a different task, clear, it is free, and compacting instead is paying a large request for continuity you're about to throw away. And if you do compact, you can steer it, /compact, then instructions. Focus on code samples and API usage, say, or put a compact instructions section in your Claude.md so it happens the same way every time. Now, the biggest single number on the page, and if you use agent teams, you need it. Agent teams use approximately 7 times more tokens than standard sessions when teammates run in plan mode. 7 times. And the reason is structural, not a bug. Each teammate maintains its own context window and runs as a separate Claude instance. 5 teammates isn't one session working harder, it's 5 sessions, each carrying its own full context. Note the precise wording though, I want to be exact. It says approximately 7 times when teammates run in plan mode. That's a specific condition, and the docs don't give a multiplier for other modes. So I'm not going to tell you agent teams always cost 7 times more. The doc's own mitigations are sensible and specific. Use Sonnet for teammates. Keep teams small, because usage is roughly proportional to team size. Keep spawn prompts focused. Teammates load Claude.md, MCP servers and skills automatically, so everything you add to the prompt is on top of that. And shut teammates down when their work is done. One reassurance, agent teams are disabled by default. You'd know if you turned this on because you'd have set an environment variable to do it. So what actually reduces the number? The docs give a list, and the ordering tells you something. Model choice is the first lever they name, and the one they blame most. Unexpectedly high spend, quote, usually traces back to long sessions that were never cleared, or to opus left as the default model. Those two habits, clear between tasks, match the model to the job, are called out as the highest impact ones. Everything else is refinement. Second, your Claude.md loads in full every session forever. The guidance is concrete. Aim to keep Claude.md under 200 lines by including only essentials, and move workflow-specific instructions into skills, which load only when invoked. Third, extended thinking. Thinking tokens are billed as output tokens, the expensive kind, and a default budget can be tens of thousands of tokens per request. You can lower the effort level or set max thinking tokens, and their example is 8,000. But 2 exceptions matter. Adaptive reasoning models ignore non-zero budgets, so use effort levels there instead. And disabling thinking is not available on Fable 5, which always uses extended thinking. Fourth, MCP. Tool definitions are deferred by default now, so only names and instructions load until you actually use a tool. But the docs still say a CLI tool beats an MCP server on context, because tools like GH and AWS don't add any per tool listing at all. And the sharpest one, offload work to a hook. Their example, instead of Claude reading a 10,000 line log, a hook grabs for error first, reducing context from tens of thousands of tokens to hundreds. That's their example and their arithmetic, not a general savings rate I'm promising you. Now the limits question, because it's the one that produces the most wrong advice on the internet. You've hit your session limit. The instinct is to switch models and keep working. It doesn't work, and the docs say why. Those windows are shared across all models, so switching models with /model doesn't restore access. It does help in exactly one narrower case, the model-specific "you've hit your opus limit" message, where switching keeps you working. But for a session or weekly limit, switching models changes nothing. On Teams and Enterprise, the allowance resets on a rolling 5-hour window and a weekly window, and it's shared with Claude Chat and Cowork, so your colleagues' chat usage and your coding usage draw on the same seat. And if you're the person sizing this for a team, there's a table, and it's counterintuitive. 1 to 5 users, 200 to 300,000 TPM each. 5 to 20, 100 to 150,000. 20 to 50, 50 to 75,000. 50 to 100, 25 to 35,000. 100 to 500, 15 to 20,000. 500 plus, 10 to 15,000 each. The per-user allocation shrinks as the team grows, 20 times smaller at the top than the bottom. And the reason is not stinginess, it's statistics. Fewer users tend to use Claude Code concurrently in larger organizations, and the limits apply at the organization level, not per individual user, so any one person can burst above their share when others are idle. Their worked example: 200 users at 20,000 TPM each is 4 million total. 6 lines, then we're done. 1. The $13 figure is an enterprise deployment average. The number to budget against is the ceiling, 90% under $30 a day. 2. The cost in /usage is computed locally at list rates. It is a telemetry estimate, not a bill. The console is the truth. 3. An idle session is not a free session. 6 documented mechanisms, and 4 of them are features you switched on. Schedules, cross-session messages, goals, teammates. Each has a setting. 4. Moving to unrelated work. Clear, don't compact. Compact reads what it summarizes. Clear costs nothing. 5. Agent teams are about 7 times a standard session in plan mode. Small teams, Sonnet teammates, and shut them down when they're finished. 6. Hit a session or weekly limit. Switching models will not save you. The window is shared across all of them. And the honest summary of this whole page: almost none of your cost is the thing you think it is. It isn't how much you type. It's how much context is alive and how long it stays alive. Everything here came off Anthropic's own costs documentation. Read today, linked in the description. No per token prices, no plan costs, no competitor comparisons. Those aren't on that page, so they aren't in this video. The companion on what you actually granted Claude on GitHub is on the end card. And if this saved you money, hit like and subscribe.